Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. And hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Tuesday, January 4th, and I want to welcome you to the show. Hey, we're live here on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we're live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. And just a reminder, of course, if you're watching this show, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling. And you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. And you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right. So on today's show, we're going to be discussing the following. First of all, we're going to be talking about the futures update. We're going to be talking about the fact that gym participation is up. We're going to be talking about Apple hitting $3 trillion. It finally happened. We're going to be talking about Philadelphia Bondage. Yeah, let's get into that. We're going to be talking about Let's Go Brandon. 1 million cases. That's right, 1 million cases. Theranos and Holmes and Fanatics acquires Tops. And, of course, we're going to be talking about today's picks. All right. Hey, I want to say hello to Bill. Hey, Bill, thanks for watching. I totally appreciate it. All right. Let's talk about the futures. So yesterday was a mixed day, and it was kind of like off at the beginning. It was up, it was down, the Dow, and then all of a sudden it closed up beautifully over 250 points. This was fantastic. The S&P also moved up about 30 points, and the NASDAQ maintained a nice lead and closed up 187 points. Apple finally hit that $3 trillion mark, and it hit it for about a second, and then it dropped. But today, if I looked at the futures today, I can actually see that it's over the $3 trillion mark again in the pre-market. I'm going to be talking about that in a little while. Most indications are basically going to be a predictably good month, and that's typically what happens every January. So every January is pretty good. I'm looking forward to a good year, and right now the futures are up 116 points. The S&P is up 15.5, and the NASDAQ is up 42.5 points. All right, so let's talk a little bit about gym participation. And as we, the normal people, continue to win the war on the government overreach, it is good to know that most people are starting to ignore the mandates, lockdowns, and propaganda of the regime of Gestapo Joe. You may remember the gym in New Jersey that stayed open during the lockdowns. They fought the police, the judges, and of course the governor. They were even put in jail a few times as they continued to exercise their constitutional right to run a business. While they kept the place open, the members of the gym also attended classes and worked out. Some of them were also fined and arrested. They were actually fined and arrested as they left the gym. It was amazing. In the end, no one had to pay any fines, and the gym eventually stayed open as the lockdown subsided. Well, when you think about it, you realize that the owners and the club members clearly did not want to live in fear. They simply wanted to go on with their lives and be normal. They would not give in to government overreach or fear, or the scamdemic called COVID-19. Well, now things are starting to go back to normal, and most gyms are basically reopened, at least the ones that survived the lockdown. Some of them were closed. I actually drove by some gyms and saw that they were completely closed. And again, most are full again. Yesterday, Planet Fitness reported that membership growth is on the rise again, and members have started to fill up the locations again. The fear of the scary Omicron variant, is not holding people back. One statistic for October showed that gym visits in the month were only down 8% from 2019. I gotta tell you, that's a substantial number. It really shows that normal is almost normal again. And now that the new year has come, many will be making their resolutions and goals, and they're going to want to lose weight, right? And getting back into shape. I, for one, will be going to the gym right after my broadcast, and I'll be starting to lose the journey of the 40 pounds I've been promising myself all year that I'm going to lose once again. In the past 2 months, by the way, we've seen moviegoers and, of course, now gym visitors rising. It's fantastic. This is definitely the signal that the scamdemic is over. And I'm going to tell you right now, look for entertainment and travel stocks to pop soon. mostly look for the Democrats to take responsibility for solving the COVID scamdemic, the one that was no longer a real problem over a year ago already. But they're going to do this as they enter the midterm elections to show how brave they were to sacrifice you and I for their political aspirations, so you will vote for them. Yeah, remember that. Remember how they sacrificed you and I for their political aspirations to vote for them, because that's exactly what they're going to be doing. All right, let's talk a little bit about Apple and what's going on with Apple. Well, it finally happened. Apple became the first $3 trillion evaluation for a company in history. Look, at a market value of $3 trillion, Apple tripled its valuation in under 4 years. And analysts see plenty of room for run. I do too, by the way. I got to tell you a story. I remember when I first saw an Apple computer. And if you guys know anything about East Brunswick, I was in the Brunswick Square Mall in East Brunswick, New Jersey, and I was maybe 17, 18, maybe 19 years old, I'm not even sure. And I had played with the Radio Shack TRS-80 a few times and the Commodore 64. By the way, anybody remember that paperweight, the Commodore 64? But when I saw the Apple computer, I knew it was something different. But here's a really funny story, though. At the time, I don't know, like I said, maybe I was 18 years old, whatever, and I knew nothing about stocks or valuations or even how to buy a stock. And there was a restaurant opening, and I think it was called Boli. They served strombolis and other Italian food, I don't know, in this restaurant. Anyway, the food was pretty good. However, it was also a public company. Now, here's the deal. Both Apple and Boli were stocks, you ready? Both of them were selling for about $6 at the time. Well, I decided I was going to pick one, and I learned how to buy stocks that week, and guess which one I bought with my $500? Yep, I bought Boli. Well, do you remember when I thought the name was Boli? That's because no one remembers a restaurant chain that's been closed for over 38 years. Ugh. Anyway, it was really neat to see the company become the largest and greatest IT and computer company, and honestly, it's still a great stock and still a great buy and hold for those in the long run. I think the dividend right now is a little bit small, but I also think I would expect to see that raise in the future. As for the $3 trillion evaluation, Apple's peers aren't far behind. Microsoft is now worth $2.5 trillion, so they'll probably come up next. Amazon, surprisingly, is only $1.75 trillion. Yeah, only, right? And Google's market valuation is just shy of $2 trillion. By the way, this show is produced on a really expensive Apple computer. Hey, but do you really want to know what pushed the stock over the $3 trillion edge? It was the wearables. Here's the cool part. When I say wearables, I bet you think about items like the watch, but it wasn't the watch that was the biggest seller. It was the headphones. You know, those white Bluetooth earbuds that everyone is wearing lately, especially at the gym? And the company sold 27 million pairs of its newest version of the AirPods for a total of 90 million sold during the holiday quarter of 2021. Wow, that's a lot of earbuds. I am shocked to hear how many earbuds were sold. All right, let's talk a little bit about Philadelphia. Well, it looks like Philadelphia has gone Nazi too, as the idiot Mayor Kenny is implementing a vaccine mandate to eat, drink, or do virtually anything in Philadelphia. That's right. As of yesterday, the deputized browncoats, which are called store owners and operators, are required to say, "Papers, please," in order to serve you. Yes, papers, please, and you must show the following. Employees and children aged 5 years and 3 months through 11 will be required to have 1 dose of the COVID vaccine by January 3rd and complete their vaccine series by February 3rd. Believe it or not, restaurants may accept a negative COVID test for the next 2 weeks up until January 17th, and then it's back to papers, please, only. Well, Philadelphia, I got to tell you, so much for Elton John's song, Philadelphia Freedom. Instead of him singing Philadelphia Freedom, he should be singing Philadelphia Bondage. Oh, this country, I'm telling you, this country's founders are turning over in their grave right now. By the way, check this out. You can actually apply for a health or religious exemption, but good luck getting it approved. On the other hand, I'll bet the towns surrounding Philadelphia are having a really happy restaurant owners right now. As for me, you could take Philadelphia and New York and you could drop a bomb on them. I wouldn't even notice anymore. All the damage done by leaders like Kenny and de Blasio are going to take years to overcome and have done more damage, like I said before, than 9/11. Hey, Mick, I want to thank you for listening. Check this out. Let's talk about Let's Go Brandon. Yeah. All right, for those of you who don't know the meaning of Let's Go Brandon, it's a polite way of saying F Joe Biden. You know, that dirty word I can't say on the radio starting with F and ending in K? Well, the story of the origin of the phrase is actually pretty funny. Brandon Brown is a race car driver, and he won the Xfinity Series race at Talladega. A reporter named Kelly Stavist was interviewing the first-time winner, and the audience was cheering a common phrase at sports arenas, and basically sporting events and sports arenas that was, of course, F Joe Biden, right? While she was interviewing him, she got a little embarrassed, and she said, listen to the crowd chanting, Let's Go Brandon. And that's how it all started. Unfortunately for Brandon Brown, it has been hard for him to get corporate sponsors. He actually had a press release about this, and as a Republican, he was sad to have his name associated with the Let's Go Brandon movement. Well, luckily for him, a new cryptocurrency was born from the chant. We talked about this yesterday, and the coin is called the LGB coin. Now, wouldn't it be fitting for Brandon Brown to have his car painted with the logo and advertise it? Well, both the founders of the coin and Brandon thought so they agreed to sponsor the driver. Well, by the way, if you guys have seen my SUV, I should have held out for the founders to sponsor my car. I proudly have my entire car wrapped in a unique Let's Go Brandon wrap. If you haven't seen this on Facebook, you need to take a look at it. If you haven't seen me driving, need to take a look for me. By the way, it's a lot of fun driving this thing around. I get all kinds of looks and everyone waves. Sometimes people wave with 5 fingers and sometimes people wave with 1 finger. Anyway, Brandon Brown has not had the design approved by NASCAR yet, and I gotta say, they have the final word, but how much fun would it be to have the entire audience screaming, Let's Go Brandon at every race? The coin is also an interesting item as it hovers about 1.2 millionth of a cent. I really think that most will buy it just to say they did. So look up LGB coin. By the way, I'm thinking Brandon Brown isn't so sad about the saying anymore, especially if the coin takes off. All right, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank everybody on WWDB Radio for listening in Philadelphia. If you're watching online, please hit that like button, hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money and actually enjoy it a little bit too. Hit that like button, let me know you enjoy the show, and you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I'll try to respond to them. Hey, I want to say hello to Tommy and Ken, and of course, Linda. Somebody said that my wife said that our chiropractor was sent the picture of my car yesterday. So that's kind of cool. So my car is real. If you ever want to see it, it's actually real. So far we've been discussing the futures update. Right now the Dow is up 107 points. The S&P is up 12 and the NASDAQ is up 20. We talked about gym participation being up and people are ignoring the scary Omicron variant. Oh! We talked about the fact that Apple is up to $3 trillion. We talked about Philadelphia bondage and they could keep their Nazi regime. I'm just not going. We talked about the Let's Go Brandon coin. How cool is that? And coming up, we're going to be talking about 1 million cases of the scary Omicron variant. We're going to be talking about Theranos and Holmes, and we're going to be talking about Fanatics acquiring Tops. And, of course, we'll be talking about today's picks and plays. But, hey, Did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button yet? Don't forget to leave comments. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set your preset to this channel and listen every day at 7:30. And also, when you get home, look up that Money Chat Now on Facebook, and also let me know what you think of the show. All right, let's get into the second half. Breaking news. Oh, can you? I don't even know if we can run that audio, but the breaking news line. But right anyway, the scary Omicron variant reached a milestone of 1 million cases. Oh my! Run for the hills! Lock your children in the basement! Kill your pets! Get your ammo! Get your guns ready! Get your water ready and your toilet paper ready because it's the end of the world. Oh wait, we already tried that and it didn't work. Anyway, you really want to know why this is in the news? As I predicted, whenever Moderna's stock goes below 250, and yesterday, of course, it was at 235, we get news about the scary Omicron variant. Oh, it's like clockwork. I actually said it last night. We were in a mastermind meeting, and I said it last night. I said to the audience, I said, watch tomorrow. Moderna's at 235. Watch tomorrow's headlines, and there will be something about COVID. And sure enough, I wake up this morning, and there it is. You know, you got to understand that Pelosi and her goon squad obviously have some open positions, maybe calls on Moderna. And if you remember, we talked about this a while back. We talked about the fact that if she doesn't disclose this to her peers, she risks a total of $200 fine. That's right. In case you didn't listen to the episode where I discussed this, politicians get a maximum of $200 fine for not reporting their stock positions to their HR. You believe that? Anyway, 1 million cases. Listen, people, I have a secret for you. Omicron is the common cold. Stop the freaking madness. All right, let's talk about Theranos and Holmes. So some of you have seen in the news, it's all over the news actually today on some of the social media sites and everywhere else. They're talking about Elizabeth Holmes being found guilty of fraud when she apparently frauded investors who backed her blood testing company called Theranos. Now, Theranos was supposed to be a blood testing procedure that streamlined blood tests. So if you ever had a blood test, you know that they take a vial of blood from you and they send it to a lab and they test for whatever ails you or whatever your doctor wants to test for. You know, these tests can be anything routine such as cholesterol or blood sugar or basically anything else. Holmes created a company based on a technology that made it simpler to get the blood results. It was basically using fingerprint technology. So basically, you just take a small dab of blood on a finger prick, and get all the answers to the doctor's questions. Well, apparently, this concept was such a good idea that millionaires backed it, and they funneled about $9 billion into the company. The problem was that she continued to claim the technology was working, and she needed more testing. But her lab scientists kept telling her it just won't work. Now, eventually, someone at the labs either told regulators that it just does not work, or the information leaked out. So, Holmes went to court yesterday. Oh, actually, for the last couple of days, they had a trial, and she was put on trial, and now she faces 10 years in prison for this. This is sad. Look, I got to be honest with you. I mean, look, fraud is fraud, and people should go to jail for fraud. But I just look back, and I don't know anything about her, and I don't know anything about anything that she did, but I do know that as an entrepreneur, we always want our businesses to work out, and we sacrifice everything. And I'd almost bet that there's a lot of that behind it, but I really don't know, so that's just an opinion. All right, let's talk a little bit about Fanatics acquiring Tops. Remember the days of youth when you used to go to the corner grocery store, or not the grocery store, like the little drugstore, and buy baseball cards with your weekly allowance from your parents? You anxiously opened up the pack, and you would sort through the cards as you ate the cardboard-like bubble gum that came with them. Oh, man. Some of those cards, it turned out, would be worth millions if you still had them, but honestly, that's not what the story is all about. It's expected that the company Fanatics will be announcing that they will be buying what's left of the Topps card company for about $500 million. This will only include, by the way, Topps name and the sports and entertainment division. The company's candy and gift cards line is not going to be included. I don't know what they're going to be calling it, but it's not going to be included. Does this mean, by the way, that they will still sell the cardboard gum without the cards? Maybe somewhere else. Anyway, Fanatics will buy the name and the rights to produce the cards. Fanatics has an $18 billion evaluation and has been bidding basically bidding on the rights to the cards from major leagues. And basically, so what happened was they won a couple of bids and they basically beat out Topps already. So this acquisition basically is going to speed up the process and allow Fanatics to have the rights that Topps currently has. So they're buying the accounts from Topps is really what they're doing, and they're going to buy the name. It sounds honestly like Topps really had no choice here and was just trying to get a payday for a company that may no longer exist in the future anyway. My guess is that Fanatics also will have the resources to produce the future of baseball cards as NFTs, which is where the business is clearly going. All right, I'm going to be looking for my Mickey Mantle card, which, by the way, is worth about $5 million. While we take a break, I will see you in a couple of minutes, and I will tell you what's going on next.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, I want to welcome you back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. And so far, we've been discussing the futures update. Right now, the Dow is up 94 points, the S&P is up 11, and the NASDAQ is only up 18 now. That starts to, I hate it when it's only up a little bit. It makes me worry a little bit. We talked about the fact that gym participation is up, and most people are ignoring the scary Omicron. Oh! We also talked about Apple hitting a $3 trillion company. We talked about the Philadelphia Bondage, no longer Philadelphia Freedom. It's now Philadelphia Bondage. Go everywhere else to eat. Just don't go there anymore. We talked about Let's Go Brandon. And by the way, if you're watching online right now, please type in Let's Go Brandon so I know you're enjoying the show. We also had talked about Fanatics, and we talked about Theranos, and we're going to talk about what's coming up right now in today's picks. So first of all, before we do that, did you guys hit that share button? Did you hit that like button? Did you comment Let's Go Brandon yet? I don't see it. Let's go. Comment. Come on. Let everyone know what great stocks are coming up by sharing this information. And by the way, you can share this in groups or on your page that may feel that they would benefit from the great stock plays. You can also, of course, leave comments. I still don't see the Let's Go Brandon comment. I'm thinking nobody's watching. That's it. I'm going to end the show right now. Oh, there we go. Finally. Thanks, Jared. All right. If you listen on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market and be entertained. Hey, why not, right? So yesterday was a really good day in the stock market. The Dow closed up about 250 points. And like I tell you, all the markets were up as Apple hit that $3 trillion mark, and Tesla also had a record-breaking year, so that pushed the NASDAQ up, and that was really nice. We're also seeing more and more people and more investors ignoring the scary Omicron variant, and realizing more and more that it's just a freaking cold. All right, as the people ignore it, cruise stocks and airline stocks are moving up. I've been saying this for a month, and I hope you took advice and made some money on them. We're entering earnings season, and this is the time to place your bets. I like Meta. I like Apple. I like Boeing. I like Twitter. And I like more travel stocks. Hey, I've been telling you guys over and over again to get into the oil stocks as well. And Halliburton today was upgraded, and it's now up over 3% pre-market, and it was up over 4% pre-market. Yeah, it ended up over 4% yesterday. By the way, 30 is my target for this stock, and at 25-ish, it still has legs. By the way, if you're watching online and you've had any of the plays, let me know how you made out. Hey, thanks, Jared. Thanks, Tommy. And thanks you, Ken. Actually, Ken, right? For saying, let's go, Brandon. I appreciate you guys watching, and I appreciate you guys enjoying the show. All right. Real quick, on the crypto scene. Crypto isn't doing anything. It's kind of getting boring. I think it's a weird market. And by the way, it often goes into lulls and bounces quickly. And I think basically what we need right now is we need Elon Musk to tweet something about a coin, and voila, it'll pop. Hey, Elon, give me a call. I want to tell you which ones I have invested before you tweet about it. By the way, gold and silver are also boring right now, and it may be time to add to your silver position at 22. I think it's a good play at 22. The market is ignoring the Treasury bond as it moved over 1.6 mark. Now, this is unusual. You've seen it over and over again that when it goes over 1.5, the NASDAQ starts to go down. But I do think that the fact that Apple hit that $3 trillion yesterday is keeping the NASDAQ up, and people are ignoring this, and they might move their money from other stocks back into here soon. But January is always a good month. So watch this number, watch it, and watch to see what happens in the tech market. Hey, don't forget, of course, to also order my book called Money Hacks. It's with the subtitle because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and I'm actually going to have my actual copy of it probably in the next 2 weeks. Look for the book, and by the way, you can pre-order it on barnesandnoble.com. So again, the name is Money Hacks, and my name again is Larry Steinhouse, so look that up. Hey, if you've been watching on any of the social media platforms, please leave comments and your thoughts about the show, and let me know if you've taken any advice. Please share this show with your friends and tell them about it. Thank you for your continued support, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. I have to tell you a funny story. So this morning I get an email from YouTube. YouTube deleted my show yesterday. They actually deleted my show and said it was medical misinformation. Now, I don't know what I said in my show yesterday. I probably said things like, oh, this scary Omicron variant, or something. I don't remember exactly what. I went to look over the script. I haven't seen anything in it. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and tell YouTube that basically to F off. I also want to thank the listeners on WWDB Radio, and I want to thank you for your continued support as well. Don't forget to look up Money Chat Now when you get home. And of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and stocks that I discuss in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and apparently YouTube doesn't like them. And of course, no one has asked me to discuss them. As a matter of fact, it sounds like more people are asking me not to discuss them. All right, have a profitable day. We'll see you tomorrow.